Welcome, Jared. I've said this a million times with all the interviews, but it's my favorite question usually by far because I love the answers. So most of us, if not all of us, have influencers through our journey of life, if you will, sometimes for a second, a minute, sometimes for a lifetime. Can you share with us two or three people that have influenced you in your life?
Yeah, no, it is a great question. You'd let me know that it's like, all right, this is one of the questions I want you to be thinking about. And it made me stop and really give some consideration to how I think about influencers in my life. I'd say, there's three people that come to mind. The first is a gentleman named Dov Barron. He has a podcast called Curiosity Bites.
I know Dov.
You know Dov? Yep. Dov is one of my favorite people. He and I have known each other for years now. In fact, we spoke this morning. We talk on a regular basis. And but Dov has this amazing ability to bring some of the most incredible people into his atmosphere. I've never seen anybody that has been able to do that. And why he's been influential to me, not just because of the kind of person he is, but is that when I think about this core group of people that I have around me today in my professional and personal life, I can trace every one of them, all but one, right back to Dov. Every single one of them. And to me, that's just, this is a guy who gives, and people want to be around him. And he just has that amazing ability. That's had a major influence on my business, on my life, because that's opened doors for me. That has allowed me to connect with people that have skill sets that I wouldn't have even known where to find them. And we've been able to work with each other, help each other grow. So Dov is definitely one of the most influential people in my life. Mm-hmm. Another gentleman is named Joel Bauer, who I also met through Dov. We were both on Dov's advisory board, and that's where Joel and I met. And Joel is an incredible individual. He works in the background for a lot of entrepreneurs and for a lot of startups, and he really understands what owners need, and he knows how to be strategic and tactical at the same time. So when I was learning how to build out courses and develop different things that need to be put out there, he operated at a level of understanding of knowing this is what you actually need to do. This is what you're being told. He said, but this is what you actually need to do. So he fast tracked me through to here's what the experts actually do. Stop listening to all this junk that's over here. So Joel was very instrumental in this 5-year period where I was overhauling the business and creating a digital arm so I could reach more people and put more of these tools in people's hands. So I would definitely say Joel Bauer is one of the most influential people to me. And the last is a good friend of mine, and he's the author of the book, The Iconist. His name is Jamie Mustard. And Jamie and I connected also through Dov. And I'm telling you, it's wild. So Jamie and I got connected, and I put Jamie up there for a couple of reasons. One is that he had the ability to see right through like where the misalignment was for me in my message, in who I am, and what was being displayed on the outside. So the website previously to the one that I have up now, it looked more corporate. It looked more, like what you would typically see. And Jamie said, man, this isn't you. I was like, oh, I know, eventually I'm going to get around to getting the suit jacket off because I hate this stuff. I said, but I built that thing out based around a strategy. He goes, yeah, but the packaging's all wrong. And so he said, look, I can help you. And so he just took it on himself. He said, his whole concept is around this idea of blocks and icons, visual images that people remember, or words that people remember over and over and over again. And so he was very influential in that regard. And so the new icon, the new futurist icon that's up there now, came directly from work that he and I were doing together, and his team built that. And now we built everything around that. So it really created a strong sense of presence, a sense of place. And it felt like the inside is finally starting to match the outside. And that's something I think a lot of people struggle with as well. How do I present myself right. You're always in that, I want to, be authentic here, which, I thought that I was like, well, but, I also need to be palatable. And, I've just got to the point of like, hey, look, that's the reality is this. I want to make sure if people find me, if they talk to me, that it's very clear that, if I'm their guy, then I'm their guy. But if I'm not, I'm not. And there's, we don't waste any time. So
Yeah, and
yeah.
there's nothing wrong with that. We do a lot of work with talent, obviously, and if it's the right fit, it's the right fit. It doesn't make anybody bad or good. It just makes them the right fit or not for that particular thing.
Absolutely. Yeah.
So it's no, it's brilliant. And you're right. We sometimes try to present ourselves like on our website. It's not what we are. It's too professional or something. And most people just want authenticity, and they just want that human, what we call the human element, really. Yeah. So good for you for following that that direction. And I'll give you a chance to add one more influencer that's not about business.
Yeah, it's not about business. Well, let's see.
I'll give you a hint if you want to have a nice dinner tonight.
Oh, yes, my wife.
Holy cow.
Well, that is a good point. My wife is, and I'm glad you brought that up. I mean, she really is my partner, and she does so much of the work in the background. She's way smarter than me, aside from the fact that she could have done so much better. She married down. But I try not to remind her of that. Yeah, but no, she's incredible. And oh yeah, there's no way I would be able to be here without her, because honestly, as I've shared with you before, I've never actually worked for anybody in my entire professional career. It's always been, as we like to say, hunt, kill, and eat. You have to build and design things and do things a certain way. That's not a lifestyle that a lot of people are comfortable with, men or women.
Right.
But she believed in me, and she has supported me this whole way, and it's allowed us together to make a life that we have now. And yeah, absolutely.
Well, I'm glad you remembered that. And what's her name?
I'm so glad that nobody had to remind me of that.
What's her name?
Her name is Leanne.
Leanne, good way to go, Leanne. Nice job. Thanks for sharing all that.
Absolutely, Mark. Yeah.